Do you guys like my earrings? My best friend got them for me. Shout out my bestie Brains. Got me my good earrings. My love earrings. Hey guys, it's your girl JustJade and I am back finally with another video. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about myself and then we've got quite a few questions to get through with my Q&A. So let's get into it. So about me. I am a singer and a songwriter. I'm a raptress as well, and I'm stepping into the curve and plus size modelling industry as well. And I recently actually just finished a higher national diploma in music performance. That's actually why since my first video you guys didn't really see anything from me with regards to Locked in Love, because I was literally trying to get all of my assignments done. It was so much work packed into like this 1-year course, but I did it. So I'm so happy and proud of myself. And I just want to shout out my best friend as well, who really like convinced me to do this, because it wasn't just about me. It was about me brushing up on my skills, but it was also about me starting something and finishing it. And it really, really instilled a confidence in me. And it really, really helped me to know, you know, that I do know a lot of these things, and then it really helped me to learn new things as well. So it was really, really great. Along with that, I work in a youth hostel, so I work with young people as well, and that is something that's really, really rewarding for me, because I'm able to touch people's lives and actually advise them and help guide them to the right path that they need to be on in order to progress in like getting their own place and being an independent person and being responsible and all of these things. So that's what I do. I started this online dating journey because I was sorting all of my life out. My best friend was helping me to kind of just figure out, you know, how I need to go about sorting my life out, making personal changes, and making that transition, as our good sis Jill Scott would say, from a grown girl into a grown woman.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. God, that's what I'm talking about.
And basically I learned along the way that you can't please everybody, and you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So do what you like, do what makes you happy, and do what really fulfills you and your spirit, because that really is what that's your purpose. Fulfill your purpose, you know. So that's the path that I've been on recently. But during that time, you know, my friend says to me, well, I mean, you're figuring all of these other things out in your life, so why don't you sort out your love life as well? Like, get out there. The heart wants what the heart wants. You can see like that you know, you would like to be with somebody and, you know, build something with somebody. And I had already tried online dating before in the past a couple of times, and, you know, ended up dating someone and it ended up not working out. So I kind of avoided it a little bit as well, and I just kind of felt like, oh, it is what it is. I'm doing me, I'm sorting my life out. But as she said, the heart wants what the heart wants. So I had to be really true to myself and be like, do you know what? She's telling the truth, and that is something that I do want, and I do want to build something and eventually, you know, have a family with the career that I'm building. I want it all, and why can't I? So I signed up to a few dating sites, and here we are. I've experienced a couple of things with online dating since I, you know, rejoined. I think I'll definitely do some story times for a couple of the things that I've experienced as well. But it's been a fun experience, because I've really learned things about myself. I've really learned that I can be outspoken, and, you know, that I can also have grace and integrity when I'm responding to certain things as well. And I've really learned that, you know, I like to flirt as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying the experience. I'm not taking it too seriously in terms of like, oh, I have to find a man. It's more like, okay, let me enjoy this experience, and whatever happens.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I could go out to my local shop or run an errand, or I could go to visit somebody and end up meeting somebody on my travels, on my journey, like on my day-to-day. So it's just it's an option, unless I am doing something like that, or unless unless I am doing something productive, I like to stay at home. So it's an option for me to meet more people than I would going out, because although I do go out to do certain things, it's very rare. So yeah, that's a bit about me, but we're gonna get into these questions. I just want to shout out everyone for sending in these questions. That we've got a few to get through. I'm so excited. I've kind of glanced at some of them. Some of the things that people have said are so funny. What is your best and worst dating experience? So I would say the best dating experience in terms of going out on a date would be the last guy that I actually dated. Our first date was pretty cute. We went out to eat, but he was just very gentlemanly, like opening the car door for me, opening doors for me, just being a gentleman, being chivalrous. Kind of showed me that the standard I set is something that is reachable, and it's whether somebody wants to actually do that for you or not. So it was a pretty dope time that we actually spent together, and I think like I showed him a spot like in my area that you can go, and it's got a nice view as well, and you can go and just see the view and talk and sing along to music or whatever you want to do, which is what we kind of did on the way. So yeah, that was a pretty dope like first day. In terms of my worst dating experience, oh my god, some years ago I met this guy and he took me on a date. He was also like chivalrous in terms of opening doors and stuff, but he was too touchy-feely. And that's not to say that like I like physical touch, but it's our first date, you just met me, like it's too much. It's not a bit of me at all. Like trying to like kiss me at the wrong time, like trying to touch up my thigh, like it just made me feel really, really uncomfortable. So yeah, that would be like my worst dating experience, where I had to be like, you need to calm all the way down, like slow down, tiger, like for real, like it was not it, but we move. Do you find yourself fetishized online sometimes? Things like chocolate queen because you're a black woman dating online. I don't think I've experienced that yet. We thank God. I've definitely been called like melanin queen and empress and those kind of things from black men, but I kind of like that approach as well. I mean, sometimes people talk a good game and then they just ain't it as well. But in terms of like a respectful way of approaching me, people have approached me in that kind of way. But so far, nobody's approached me with this hey chocolate queen and all that kind of nonsense. Like I said, we thank God. If we knew the world was gonna end next week, is there someone you have a secret crush on that you want to ask out? Yes, but I'm not gonna tell you guys that. But yeah, like I think that we all sometimes have crushes and stuff, but sometimes it's a case of not knowing if that person is feeling you too, or you just don't want to cross that line because you might have a friendship. So who knows what could happen. You know, I've become a lot more confident in terms of saying things with my chest, so who knows, I might approach them. But you know, sometimes it's a circumstance thing and timing as well, you know. Is there any wild fantasies that you have that's all right to talk on camera? Listen, there's no wild fantasy that anyone has that's all right to talk on camera. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a wild fantasy. So I don't know about that. So let's skip that one. You will be my Nubian queen, and that's a promise. My soon-to-be queen. Reveal yourself and let me know who you are, because I'm out here thinking ain't nobody trying to be interested in me. You're out here knowing me and you're not saying anything. Bruh. How has dating changed for you since the pandemic? Well, prior to the pandemic, I wasn't really seeking anything just because I was focusing on myself. So dating's changed that I've been open to dating now and I've been on this online dating journey. So I guess that's how it's changed for me. Have you continued and adapted, or have you just taken a pause? Well, in relation to the previous question, I wasn't dating at the time. I was focusing on myself. So I've actually just like kind of restarted that to try to enjoy the experience. So yeah, I've started to go on these sites and actually like speak to people and be confident to approach guys as well, as just like I'm not just here like waiting to be approached as well, you know. What do you think is an appropriate age gap on average? I wouldn't put an age gap on anybody. Like, obviously, I think that as long as you're adults and it's appropriate and it's genuine and organic, then do your thing. I know people that have like real big age gaps and they've been married for years and years and years and years. So I guess it all just depends on like people's personal preference. Me personally, as much as I would like to date guys that's usually around my age group, unless you're an old soul, it doesn't really work out that way. So I wouldn't mind dating a guy that's like 10, 11, 12 years like older than me, because yes, I'm youthful and I like to have fun, but I'm very much an old soul. I like to talk about certain things and I like to have deep intellectual conversations, and I like to watch documentaries and read. And that's not to say that people in our generation don't as well, but some don't. And some people they just don't have that mature mindset. So you either have to have that mature mindset and be an old soul, as I am too, or an older guy, for me personally. What's your ideal date once you decide to meet? I mean, I like to be romanticized and wined and dined. So going out to eat on like a romance flex would be really nice, because you get to sit down and talk to somebody and get to know them as well. But I also like dates like if you were to go bowling or go to the arcade, that would be really dope. But I would say my ideal date would be going to see like live music. Like somewhere where you can go to eat and have a drink and there's like live music or poetry going on, or like an open mic or something like that. That's a bit of me, definitely. How do you minimize small talk when online dating? Well, I think it's really important to ask like prompter questions and stuff. Like if you were stuck on an island, what 5 items would you bring? I think even on the site that I'm on, I put like, what's your top 5 neo soul or R&B songs? If you like, what would your top 5 be? Because it's a conversation starter, and then it can lead on to other conversations as well, and then you're able to converse and communicate with that person, rather than just a hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine. You? I'm fine. Do you wear a mask on your date? Well, I haven't gone on any dates yet. I'm really taking my time with this process. I'm really taking my time. I'm not trying to rush anything. I mean, when you're in certain places, you have to wear masks. Now, I know certain places are open now, but I guess when you go there, you wear the mask and then you take it off when you're seated, right? So, plus I need to see facial expressions and stuff. Like, I'm a very animated person, so I need to see facial expressions. I need to see like if you got a nice smile. Did you brush your teeth today? Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Like, I need to know these things. So like, I would prefer like to not like have to have a mask on when you're seated at a table with someone, right? How many guys have you ever met online? In total, over like in terms of like people I've previously dated as well, I think I've met in total maybe 4 guys in total. I would say 2 were just like first dates that I had with them, and then 1 guy I met and then we ended up dating for a little while, and then a couple of years later, like another guy that I met, we ended up dating for a little while. Didn't work out, but we move, you know. I open to dating. I mean, well, yeah, that's why I'm online dating. Unless you mean you, in that case, reveal yourself. There was these people coming through with these kind of statements and things, but they're not saying who they are. Listen, if you see this video, reveal yourself, pop up. Would you ever consider going back to dating someone you met online? If that means in terms of previously, no, because there was a reason why we didn't continue that relationship or whatever it was. There was a reason why, like I saw red flags, or there was an issue that was created, that I saw that you're not a bit of me and we're not compatible. Yeah, I don't think I would go back, because something that I've learned through like other couples and stuff is like, when you're in a relationship, it's not just about that you like that person and you get on and stuff, but like what is it can you tolerate about that person as well? And I didn't have the tolerance for certain things, so I wouldn't go back there. How do you qualify a guy for him to go to the next stage? It just has to be organic. Like, nothing has to be forced. They have to be an effective communicator. So it needs to be a thing where I can see, do you know what? I like this person and I want to get to know more about them. They're showing interest in me as well. They're making an effort, but also giving me space, because we're just getting to know each other. So yeah, I think it's just that's just an organic thing that you kind of just know. Like, you want to see more and you're curious to see more out of that situation. So I think that's just more of an organic thing. Oh, somebody left a comment. They said relationships hold a mirror to yourself. You realize all of the things you need to work on. I think that is so true. Shout out you, because I feel like you learn a lot about yourself when you're in a relationship and when you're dating. You learn about things that you can and cannot tolerate. You learn about things and bad habits that you might have as well, and you have to really like work on yourself in regards to that and be like, I'm a bit too pushy, or I'm a bit too naggy, or I'm too submissive, or like I don't communicate how I feel about something until it's too late. Like there's so many different things that you can learn about yourself when you're in a relationship or when you're dating. So I think that statement is really, really true. What qualities do you look for in a man? You have to be driven. You have to be self-sufficient, and an independent person. I feel like people say this like my other half. No, like I need a whole, because I am a whole person. So you need to be a whole person too, so that when we come together and we create that union, like it's one, but it's one and one equaling one. Do you get me? They have to have good morals and standards. You have to be a gentleman. You have to be respectful. You have to have like integrity and dignity. You definitely also have to have the mindset of wanting to create generational wealth and a legacy. When I say legacy, I mean in terms of your morals and your standards. I mean in terms of your teachings and tradition and those kind of things as well. So you have to have that mindset. I think that's a really nice, that quality to have. And I feel like if you and your man are on that same page, it creates a really great like goal for you to pursue together. It gives you something to do together, because he could have a different interest to you in terms of career wise, but when it comes to like the end goal, like I'm doing this for, you know, the legacy of this, or do you know what I'm saying, to show the generations that come after us what we did. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's really, really important. How someone carries themselves as well, and the person that they want to be in this world. You definitely have to have like ambition and like dreams as well that you're actively pursuing. An effective communicator, and somebody that doesn't let ego become too much of a defense mechanism. I feel like when it comes to that, that really affects relationships, because I feel like, and comment in the comment section below if I'm wrong, but I feel like sometimes men, when you're faced with a certain situation, or your woman comes to you with a certain situation, sometimes you let your ego get in the way of resolving the issue while she's approaching you because she wants like to create a solution. I know that not all women, you know, some women also have ego as well in terms of letting it like become a defense mechanism, but I can only talk from my experience. So I feel like with some men, you allow your ego to kind of get the best of you. So you need to be somebody that sometimes knows how to just like be like, okay, let's talk about the situation properly, rather than being so defensive and letting your ego overtake the situation. Just a few things that I think are important as well. It's so much, but again, like it has to be like an organic situation. It has to just go with the flow, and we have to see. And if I see something that's not cool, I'm gonna say, and then I have to see how you react to that, and so on and so forth, to then make my decision on where I want to be and what I want to do. What is the percentage of the races that come through? I get all kinds of races that come through, I do believe. Me personally, I'm pro Black love. But you know, other people have different preferences, and if somebody finds you attractive, they're gonna come through and at least, you know, try and see what you're saying. So, you know, hats off to them. Are more older or younger men coming through? Again, a mixture. Some guys have come through that are like younger than me as well, like that are like 20, 21 have come through. I mean, you're grown. But I personally like guys that are a little bit older than me. Has anyone overseas approached you? No, nobody overseas has approached me, but I do think that that's also because being on these online dating apps, you know, your location is set, and a lot of the time it will show you people that are more within, not your area, but within you know, the UK. So nobody overseas has approached me as yet. How many sites or apps are you on, and what has the best engagement? Ooh. So when I first started out, I signed up to like 5 different dating apps. I'm not gonna lie, just because I wanted to see how they work, which ones work for me, which ones like run smoother and easier to use, all of those kind of things. So now I'm like between like 2 or 3 of them. The best engagement, I don't know what to say. The best engagement in terms of like people coming through and talking to people would be Plenty of Fish. I'm not gonna lie, like there's a lot of traffic on Plenty of Fish, and now they have this whole streaming thing as well that I was so scared to click on before, because I was like, oh my god, is someone gonna see me if I go on this? But it's like you can watch different live streams and stuff like that, which is pretty cool as well, because that allows people to kind of like speak to each other on like an open platform. My favorite though, I would say, is probably Hinge, just because like you can change a lot of the settings and stuff to be more specific to what comes through for you. So yeah, I would say that would be my favorite one. Do you still believe in love, and do you think you can find it online? I definitely believe in love. Like, love is so real. Like, I grew up seeing like my grandparents being so in love until like my grandma even passed. My grandparents used to flirt in front of us. My granddad used to flirt with my grandma, and then she would be stush and like play hard to get, and like as children you're laughing because you're like, you know, you like it when he comes to bother you, but you know you're like minding your business. At the same time as kids, you just be laughing to yourself. But yeah, I definitely think that love exists. There are couples that I know now that like still love each other. Do I think that you can find it online? Definitely. There are people that I know that met online as well, and you know, they're married and having children and living their lives and they're happy. So I definitely feel like it's possible, for sure. I definitely feel like anything is possible. Have you been sent any inappropriate pictures? No. Oh my god, we give thanks. No, I have not been sent any inappropriate pictures, which I'm happy about. It's not really flattering when you're online dating and you're talking to someone and you look at your phone and you're like, has there been someone that you swiped right on and regretted it? I wouldn't say that I have any regrets. The only time when if I regret swiping right on someone is if it was like on accident, like I would like. But yeah, I don't have any regrets with regards to who I've swiped left or right on. Like, there are people that I have spoken to and started to see like what it would be like talking to that person prior to meeting them, and that it didn't end up working out, or you end up seeing, you know, you're not really compatible with that person. But I also learned things about myself in that process. So for me, no regrets. I think that, you know, you have your one little life. My auntie would say, you only have your one little life. So, you know, all you can really do is live it. So, no, I don't have any regrets. Has anyone asked you to marry them or propose? No. Some people have asked me some other weird things though. And I definitely spoke to a guy the other day. We spoke on the phone, and then he tried to approach the idea of where he would be laying his head, because he was trying to say that he wants to come to my house. And I was like, I don't know you, like, come where? Like, I'm the kind of person that, like, you could be dropping me home and I'll make you drop me around the corner. You do not need to know where I lay my head. So when you're there talking about, well, I need to know, like, if one day I'm going to lay my head, no. I don't know about all of that, babe, no. But no, nobody's asked me to marry them or proposed online. Some people have asked me, like, other things, like, they'll pay me and my friends still tickle them for, like, an hour. Like some weird like fetish stuff have come through. Well, that's weird to me. No, like I don't want to shame or shade anyone, but that's just not a bit of me. Have you had any bad experiences, and what are the positive experiences? Bad experiences. Oh my days. The other day I had somebody that, like, I let them have my number. Like, that we were talking and everything, and you know, if you watch my last video, you know, like, I'm not about just handing out your number like to everyone willy-nilly, but the conversation seemed to be flowing with this person. So I was like, sure, you can have my number. And I let them have my number, but they asked if they could call me, but I was really busy. So I was like, I'll hit you up when I finished. But I finished what I was doing really late. So the next day, again, they're asking, can they call me? And I was like, I was on a call. So I was like, when I finish doing what I'm doing, I'll hit you up. I was trying to get ready to like head out to run some errands. Putting my phone on charge, and a message pops up on like one of the apps. So I've gone to, like, I've just looked at the notification. Obviously, it's put me that I'm online. The person went mad. Oh, I beg you, block and delete me. Told me to suck my gran and my granddad. All of this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't even know you. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen that Peter Griffin thing. And he's like, who hurt you? That's what I felt like. I was like, who hurt you? Like,
Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
It's not even like we've been engaging in big conversation that you need to be in your feelings about this kind of situation. And like when he was telling me like all of these things, like there were so many thoughts that came in my head. I had an angel and a devil on like my shoulder almost. But my little piece of integrity told me, don't do it. Don't cuss him out. And I just said to him, it's very, very unfortunate that as a black man, you'll speak to a black woman in this way over something so minor. And, you know, that like it's really sad that you think that you could talk to me that way. Obviously, yes, I blocked and deleted him and I told him to do the same. But yeah, I just let him know that it's not cool. And that especially as a black man talking to a black woman, like, come correct. Talking to any woman, but just in terms of my experience as the black experience, like, that's not cool. Positive experiences. I've definitely had a confidence boost, even though I haven't met anybody in this like time yet of me doing this. I've definitely had a confidence boost. I'm able to just be myself and just not really care what people think when I'm being myself. But it's also made me open-minded in terms of growing as a person. It's made me know as well like the standard that I should set for myself and that I shouldn't settle for anything less. And it lets me know as well when people are showing interest that I still got it. I ain't got the tree growing out my face. You do. I got what it. Are your pet peeves? My pet peeve when it comes to dating is ego, like letting ego override you and letting it become a defense mechanism when really it's not. Like, you can actually have effective communication with somebody and figure your issue out. Even if you agree to disagree, it's something. But when you let ego get in the way, you start to become disrespectful and like feisty to the person when they haven't actually done anything that warrants that as well. And even if they have, like, sometimes like practice integrity, do you know what I'm saying? So that would be my pet peeve when it comes to like dating. Another pet peeve that I would say that I have is that when a guy is too much of a sweet talker and they tell you what they think you want to hear. That's how I kind of know from the get-go if it's like too much and it's not a bit of me. Like, I like a guy to be like, sometimes to be like, shut up with your big head or whatever, like bust joke with me and like could be a bit cheeky and a bit feisty sometimes. So if somebody's come through and they're too much of a sweet talker and they're like, oh, I really like you and, you know, I want to do this and that and I'm falling for you and all of this stuff, and it's like, I don't know you. Like, we have to learn each other to even know if that's really happening. So how is that possible? If you're looking for one thing, just be open and admit that you're looking for one thing. Don't try to sweet talk my pants off, because what you're doing is you're taking my choices away from me. Let me have my choice of what I want to do. Be honest, and then if I decide, yeah, I still want to go there, then I'll go there. But if I don't, then that's up to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that guys sometimes like to be too much of a sweet talker and try to like lead girls on sometimes, and then it ends up being that wasn't their intention in the first place, and you're kind of taking their choices away from them. And those are the ones I can spot from a mile away. What other pet peeves might I have when it comes to dating? Somebody being dry and like like just being really small talky, like just a lot of small talk and not really trying to have in-depth conversation. That's a pet peeve, because I could be doing something else with my time. And yeah, somebody that's just really like rude. Like, it's not necessary to be rude to people just because you're not getting your way or whatever. So that would definitely be a pet peeve as well. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning into my video. I really appreciate you guys. I hope that you gained something from it, and I hope that you enjoyed as well. Until next time, bye.